For the second time in franchise history, the Carolina Panthers have come to the threshold of absolute victory. All year long, this team has demonstrated toughness, unity, and an intoxicating joy.
They were one game away from immortality. 15-1, an MVP quarterback, a top 5 defense, swagger, style, dominance. And then...
We got one more time to set everybody up. In the pocket is Newton. Pulls the ball's knocked out of his hands.
They vanished. No dynasty, no redemption, just silence. This is the story of the 2015 Carolina Panthers. A team that had it all, then lost it all. Rewind to the beginning. The Panthers debuted in 1995. In just their second season, they went 12-4 and reached the NFC Championship. That early promise disappeared in the late 90s until 2003. Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith, Julius Peppers. They nearly won Super Bowl 38.
With the first pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Cam Newton, quarterback.
Enter Cam Newton, drafted #1 overall in 2011. Built like a linebacker, ran like a tailback, and threw like a cannon. Cam Newton wasn't just a #1 pick. He was Superman. Fresh off a Heisman Trophy, a national championship at Auburn, and one of the most dominant individual seasons in college football history, there were doubts about his mechanics, about his personality, about whether his game could translate. Cam answered all of it in Week 1. 422 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, a rushing score, and a swagger that Carolina hadn't seen in years. It absolutely was not a fluke. He followed it up with another 400-yard game in Week 2, becoming the first player in NFL history to throw for 400-plus yards in his first 2 starts. By the end of his rookie season, Cam had racked up over 4,000 passing yards, 706 rushing yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 14 on the ground. The dude was insane. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year, broke multiple rookie records, and gave Carolina something they hadn't had since Steve Smith's prime. Cam wasn't just a quarterback. He was a cultural shift. He was that guy. Bank of America was absolutely electric. Veteran defenders started watching their mouths, and opposing coordinators lost sleep. In 1 year, Carolina went from 2-14 to one of the most talked about teams in the league, and this was just the beginning. 2015 was the explosion the Panthers were building towards. They turned a 7-8-1 record into 15-1, the best single-season turnaround in franchise history. They started 14-0, the longest unbeaten start by any NFC team since the merger. Their offense led the league with over 500 points. Cam threw 35 touchdowns and ran for 10 more, winning the MVP. Their defense was elite. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Josh Norman, and K'Wan Short. 8 players were named All-Pros, and 10 Pro Bowlers joined the ranks. Week 6 delivered a statement game, a comeback win at Seattle, a heavyweight bout that showed they could beat anyone. They went on to dismantle Dallas on Thanksgiving in Week 11 to solidify their strength. Carolina won the NFC South and the NFC, granting them a first-round bye. In the divisional round, they beat Seattle 31-24 in a game that was much more of a blowout than the score depicted. Cam went 23 for 36 and threw for 246 yards, alongside 2 passing touchdowns. Jonathan Stewart had 106 rushing yards, the first 100-yard rusher against Seattle in 27 games. Carolina built a monster 31-0 lead, then held on to win, putting up a franchise-best 31 points in a playoff game. The NFC Championship, they crushed Arizona 49-15. Cam threw for 335 yards, 2 passing touchdowns plus 47 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. The Panthers' defense forced 7 turnovers. Luke Kuechly had a pick-6. Kurt Coleman had 2 red zone interceptions. The Panthers set the record for the most points in an NFC championship game. They were unstoppable until Super Bowl 50. The Denver Broncos defense dominated. Von Miller sacked Cam 6 times, hit him 14 times, and forced 2 fumbles. When I say Denver's defense dominated, I mean it. They dominated. Cam went 18 for 41, 265 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and rushed 10 times for 45 yards. The final score was a 24-10 loss, a brutal conclusion. Cam walked out on the press conference. Josh Norman cried. The fan base was in shambles. What followed was utter collapse. In 2016, Carolina's charisma was gone after they finished 6-10. Through the next 4 years, Cam's shoulder broke down after injuries piled up. Luke Kuechly started suffering concussion issues. Greg Olsen, Thomas Davis, and Josh Norman moved on with their careers. Jerry Richardson sold the team to David Tepper in 2018, and Rivera was ultimately fired. By 2020, the Panthers were lost. Matt Rule took over the team. He cut Cam Newton in exchange for Teddy Bridgewater, officially marking the end of an era. But wait, 2025 brings hope. After struggling in weeks 1 and 2 of the 2024 season, the Carolina Panthers shocked the league by benching former #1 overall pick Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. A few weeks later, Dalton injured his thumb in a car accident. That opened the door for Young to start again, and this time, he looked like a completely different quarterback. Flashy runs, sharp throws, elite defensive reads. This wasn't the Bryce Young from 2023. Not the one from early 2024 either. Late in the year, he nearly took down the Philadelphia Eagles.
Young stepping away, stepping up, being chased in the end zone, still on his feet, throws downfield, it's caught by Lee Getz!
And the Kansas City Chiefs. From Week 8 to Week 18, Bryce led the entire league in big-time throws.
In a foot race that he'll win.
Carolina still finished 5-12.
That's a winner for the Panthers!
But most of that was on their historically bad defense.
With the catch, breaking tackles, chase down the sidelines, Panthers chasing Chase, they won't catch him.
So what did they do? They didn't wait for the draft, they got to work. They signed edge rusher Pat Jones II from Minnesota, defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton, a Super Bowl veteran, run stopper Bobby Brown III from Los Angeles, safety Trevon Merrick, a rangy sideline-to-sideline coverage guy, running back Rico Dowdle, a 1,000-yard weapon from Dallas, and wide receiver Hunter Renfrow, a former Pro Bowler, to give Bryce a dependable slot target. Every unit improved. No flashy headlines, just smart, football-first signings. Analysts called it quietly elite.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Then came the draft. General manager Dan Morgan, he cooked.
The 8th pick, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan.
A 6'5" wide receiver out of Arizona with blazing speed.
The Carolina Panthers select Nick Scorton.
A sack machine from Texas A&M.
Carolina Panthers select Princely Umanmielen.
Edge rusher from Ole Miss. Cam Jackson, a massive D tackle with SEC experience. And the steal of the draft, Jaycee Horn Jr., an explosive wideout and an electric returner with speed. This draft class isn't hype, it's real. They fit the scheme, and they want to be in Carolina. This is not a 5-win team. If things go right, 9-8, maybe even 10-7 is possible. Look at the pieces. A quarterback ready to break out, a defense built around Jaycee Horn, depth in the trenches, real weapons on offense, a coaching staff with a vision, and a locker room that finally believes. This isn't hype. This is the foundation of something real. The Panthers have been laughed at, mocked, ignored, forgotten, but not anymore. Carolina is tired of being the same old Panthers.
For a little while, but you know our time coming, so you might as well jump on the ship while you can. Because once we start winning, we ain't taking a lot of new fans. we gonna remember everybody that was talking bad on us. So